Hello everyone, Brian here. This will be Recent Finds number 14. I'm pretty sure I counted that correctly. So I'm going to start with a record that many people might be surprised that I didn't already own, and that's from 1991. I'm not sure I'm allowed to show this. Nirvana's Nevermind, originally from 1991. Of course, I've had the CD for forever, so I'm not sure when I bought it, but yeah, for some reason I never had the vinyl. I know the new package came out recently, but this happens to be the 2017 Back to Black pressing, and the reason I have it is because it was free. Yeah, here it is. It was given to me by a record store of all places, their shop copy, because I was looking for something else that they didn't have, and they were sold out of any copy of this record, and they threw it in free. How was that for customer service? I said thank you. But yeah, an excellent record, game changer. What else can you say about this? Everybody knows this record. There's not really much to say, but I mean, first time I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit," I thought I'd gone into a different land. Wow, amazing. And bizarrely, I know a couple of people who don't like Nirvana, which continues to perplex me. I don't really understand that, but because I think they were really excellent. Number two, something was recorded in 1990, but never released until 2021. It's Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Way Down in the Rust Bucket. This is a 4 LP box set, as I say, from 2021. And this was recorded, I guess, at the outset of the Ragged Glory tour, but for some reason not released until later. I mean, the reviews of it were pretty good. It's kind of an interesting textured cover. I'll show you what's inside. And the price on this one, I can't remember exactly, but it was, I mean, you couldn't turn it down. It was, even if you hated Neil Young, you'd buy it because it was so good. Inside we have this sheet of credits and personnel, the usual, if you bought recent Neil Young, the ad for his Neil Young Archives, subscription service, where he gets audio and video, details, memorabilia, his written newspaper, all for $20 a year. $19.99. I guess that's American, since he's now an American citizen. Anyway, there are 4 records. The covers are all very similar. This sort of weirdly colored live images, sort of out of focus. Anyway, I won't show you them all. They're all very similar. Starts with, I can't read all the tracks, but starts with Country Home, Super Joe, and Mow the Sleaze. What else is here? It's got Cinnamon Girls on here. Sedan Delivery, that's a good one. T-Bone, which is a song that's kind of divisive, I guess, among fans. Mansion on the Hill, Like a Hurricane. Ends with Cortez the Killer. So this is the grungy, obviously the grungy Neil Young with Crazy Horse. And very enjoyable. I think the reviews of this were good and I really like it. Album number 3 is a person I'm sort of a casual fan of. And sometimes you buy things because the price is just so good that, you know, I wouldn't have paid full price for this, but this is Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, the essential Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble from 2016. And the price on this, I mean, it was sitting in a used bin. It's in excellent shape. The price was, this thing was like it's $15. So how could you turn that down? And I do know some, I didn't know all these tracks, but I know some of them. And so I grabbed it, and, you know, it's a tragedy because he died tragically so young, and yeah, it's just kind of a sad thing, but I guess the sound on this is not bad. Number 4 is kind of from a really strange guy that I've mentioned one other time in a video sometime last year, and I never see anything about this guy on the vinyl community, and I'd like to know if you know who he is, because I never hear anything about him. And this is from a guy called Mamas. This is a collaboration with John Henriksen, who is a Swedish musician. Now, Mamas' real name is Nick Curry. He took the name Mamas from the Greek god of mockery. He's a Scottish singer, author. He's written some books, blogger. Used to write for Wired magazine. I think he's really interested in the art world. Lived for years in Japan. I'm not sure if he's still there or not. His lyrics are very philosophical. Talks about otherness, very strange. Now, you'll notice that he's wearing an eye patch, and I mentioned this in the other video because he had a contact lens mishap, and he ended up with something called acanthamoeba keratitis. I think that's what it is. He had surgery to improve his vision, and his vision did improve, but he still has to wear dark glasses or a a patch, so he's often seen wearing a patch. Yeah, if you want to know what this sounds like, on YouTube there's actually a video for every single track on this record, so you can hear them all. And from a stylistic perspective, I guess you might say something like, I hate to use the word indie, but so part of it is certainly folky, but it's electronic as well. But there's also sort of nods to other sorts of things. Like one track sounds like it's could be from the 40s. This particular record is a limited edition. There's only 350 of these. So it lists a bunch of people on here. I don't know any of the people, but there's the instruments are also very different. So there's, apart from guitar and organ, vocals, saxophone, clarinet, vibraphonette, marimbas, lap steel, vinyl collages, electronics. So very strange, but kind of really endearing. It's from 2011. Now this guy's released 35 records that I know of. I have some of those, and yet it doesn't seem to get much press or mention, actually. And you rarely ever see his records in record stores. They just don't exist for some reason. Number 5, something that was actually released on VHS tape in 1982. It's The Police Around the World. This is restored and remastered, first time available on DVD, and it's a limited edition with the DVD and the record. So where did I put the DVD? Did it fall out? Did I put it back? I took the DVD out and now I've misplaced it. There's a DVD that goes with this, which has more tracks than the actual record does. Let me find it. I can't find it. I took it out. So the DVD has the full concert. This only has 9 tracks, recorded in places like Kyoto, Hong Kong, etc. So you can see at the bottom there's the DVD track. So there's many, many more tracks on the DVD. And there's only 9 tracks on the album. And this clearly follows Regatta de Blanc, because a lot of these tracks are from the first 2. Well, they're all from the first 2 records, but Regatta de Blanc is my favorite Police record. So the DVD is 83 minutes. So let me show you the record, since I can't show you the DVD because I took it out. It's on this upside down gray vinyl. That's what it looks like right side up. Yeah. Did I show you the inner sleeve? Wait, let me hang on here. Inner sleeve. Yeah, so not bad. Like, it's Live Police. What can you? Yeah, they like it or you don't. Let's see what's next. These are all out of order. All right, next. Okay, so that was 2022. I feel really disorganized today. Number 6 is the Stranglers. My address is on that label, so I'm going to cover up. This is Dark Matters, the band's 18th record from 2021. This is the first record released after Jet Black left the band. He subsequently died in 2022. And the last record that David Greenfield appears on, of course, he died in 2020. Here's the back. Get my facts straight. There's a track on here, And If You Should See Dave, which is clearly a memorial to him, or a tribute to Dave Greenfield. Now, oddly, this is the first record, not the first record. This current lineup only has one original member, because Dave and Jet are departed and deceased. Hugh Cornwell left years ago. So J.J. Burnell is the only original member on this record, which is a bit strange. So is it really the Stranglers? I guess the other members have been around for a while, so maybe it is, but it is a bit strange. This album is dedicated to the one and only David Paul Greenfield. I had this on order on Amazon when it was announced, and the price was something like $26 or $27, so I knew that would be better than any place in town I could find it, so I pre-ordered it. Waited, and then I got the message from Amazon saying your order has been canceled. And then a couple months later, it's back on from a third-party seller for around the same price plus shipping, so I decided to grab it because no one in town had it. Unfortunately, this pressing is a bit noisy. There's a lot of noise on it, and so I'm going to have to give it a clean and see if that improves it. But as a Stranglers fan, something I really couldn't turn down. It's actually I would say it's a pretty good record. Here's something I should have bought when it came out, but didn't. 1990, AC/DC, The Razor's Edge. So this is a 2022 pressing of that record. I guess it's a record that really brought them back up the charts. Maybe their best record in the last 7 or 8 years before that, maybe 5 or 6 years. Of course, Thunderstruck on here is the one that made a big splash, I guess. So the 12th record from the band. So that's a good one. What's next? Right, so here's a record. I think this might be the last one. Right, so this is a record that I was interested in getting. I heard a couple good reviews. 2 people I know gave this a positive review. Psychedelic Furs, Made of Rain. One is just this guy I know. The other one is Gary from Physical Format Rock and Roll mentioned that he liked this record. And I found a really excellent copy that was used for a really good price at a local shop, so I decided to get it. This came out in 2020 and was the band's first record since 1991. I think it was called The World Outside. I don't know that record. I know everything up until that, just before that record, and then that record I never heard, never seen it. And then 29 years later, they put this record out. And don't ask me to read that. I hate when they do this. So many bands run the lyrics together like that, and it's like, where does the next one start? I don't know. I felt like it's like a grumpy old man. They're in polyline sleeves. So there we go. And I would say this is actually pretty good. It's not. It didn't hit me like the early Furs records, like the first few. Like there's nothing, Love My Way and that kind of thing. But this is pretty solid, and I think it's actually quite good. And they've had a lot of personnel changes over the years. Like the revolving cast of characters is quite lengthy, and I don't even know. There might only be 2 original members. I'm not sure. It's one of those, when you look up in Wikipedia, it's one of those charts with who was members from the bars saying which years. It's really hard to follow, but I would say this is actually a pretty good record. So anyway, let me know what you think about that, and thanks for watching.